Crouse.
Back to the Toxic Avenger the musical
Yes.
for one sec. What message do you want people to walk out of the theater in their in their heads?
Well, Toxic Avenger the musical, luckily, both David Bryan and Joe DiPietro have very much involved in environment. What I would suggest, though, is one step further, because Al Gore is full of shit. His movie, talk about fear-mongering. He mongers fear. I hope that people will go out of the Toxic Avenger musical not just worrying about the environment, but thinking, well, where's all this ozone breakdown coming from? It's not man-made. Some of it may be. Most of it comes from bovine flatulence. Most of it comes from cows and sheep and pigs farting and shitting. So maybe, and Al Gore doesn't have the courage to say it because he and his big fat wife were trying to censor music. They tried to make their bones doing that. He couldn't even forget it. He couldn't even carry his own state. But he's made $200 million, never had a job in his life. But you just look at him and he's just so disgusting. He's a hypocrite. And Poultrygeist Night of the Chicken Dead makes fun of the limousine liberals. They're worse. At least you know where the fascists stand. The Bush crowd tell you, you don't like us, we're going to bomb you. At least you know where you stand. But the point is, why didn't Gore, with his An Inconvenient Truth, he didn't say one word about, hey, perhaps if there were fewer cows around, the ozone would be in better shape, and maybe we shouldn't be eating meat because these animals are tortured and they shit all over the place, and they in order to raise one cow, you're destroying land because the corn and the stuff that the soybeans in the rainforest, the soybeans that go to Europe, the thousands of acres every year of rainforest, which, as you know, creates oxygen or whatever it creates, is going to make soybeans for the pigs and cows in Europe to eat. So, but these phonies don't talk about that. I hope that people go out of the Toxic Avenger musical not just thinking about let's clean up our local swamp, because that we talked about that in 1983. The next step is cutting down on meat. Don't eat meat. I don't eat any meat. I don't eat any fish, and I don't eat any chicken. My main reason is because the animals are tortured. But my secondary reason is those things are polluting the environment. The farm fish are all sorts of fertilizers go into those fish, and chemicals and hormones, and that's going into all the water, which is going back into the groundwater. And you know about the farm animals, and you know how the chickens are raised in these little boxes, and the pigs can't even turn around, and the pregnant pigs are tortured and they're taken away. I mean, it's awful. It's a modern day. It's really like the Holocaust. I mean, it really is. And the maybe just getting people to think about the environment will get them to take the next step, because we don't need to be eating all this meat and fish. And not to mention the fact that we've got these 14-year-old Americans who are the size of Rhode Island, and a lot of it is chemicals. They're eating this fast food, which is full of chemicals. So Poultrygeist Night of the Chicken Dead is an anti-carnivore movie, anti-fast food, and also a musical, oddly enough. It's got a lot of singing and dancing in it.
Well, it's not just in America that you have 200-pound 14-year-olds. It's here too, and it's funny because whenever years ago when we'd go to the United States, we'd always say, "Let's go get some big American food," because you go to a restaurant and it's not that you just get your breakfast, but you get a biscuit with gravy on it, and you get 3 times as much as you get anywhere else. But I'm finding that influence has come here now, and all of a sudden we've got a lot of really big people.
There's a documentary about McDonald's.
Synthesize me.
Well, not that one. I don't really care for that one because it's too much of a nanny government thing.
Right.
But just the straight documentary shows that, I think it's on CNBC, which is part of General Electric, Universal, NBC, one of the evil ones. But there's a documentary about where they show the McDonald's hamburger size in 1956, and then they show it today, and it's like 10 times as big. It's incredible. And of course, it's got 10 times as much strontium-90 and hormones and all that stuff, and it's just it's gone too far. And people, why are we all watching DVDs? Those are oil-based. Those are pollutants. Gore doesn't talk about CDs and DVDs. He's afraid because he gets so much money from the media. But you can get your entertainment from the internet. Go to Pirate Bay. You can get anything you want, and it's free, and it doesn't pollute, other than your mind. It might pollute your mind, but it won't pollute your mind as much as the Matt Lauer and the Today Show will. That's the worst. Thank you. And Toxic Avenger the musical. It's the most important thing is it's great entertainment, and that's what Troma's. Our movies are supposed to be entertaining. That's the first. That's the first thing is to be entertaining. But give people something to chew on, give them something interesting, something to ponder, and they'll come back. And the Toxic Avenger musical does just that. But it's totally entertaining. That's what's great.
Yeah, and the songs are great. Yeah.
And Richard Crouse is great.
Yay!
He's the best.
Lloyd, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard Crouse.